What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Wednesday. Of course, we are talking about Bachelor in Paradise because it is Wednesday. That is when we talk about the Bachelor franchise of all sorts, because it never ends. It goes The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelorette again. It keeps on going. Unfortunately, we do not have our main squeeze. I didn't want to call him a main squeeze.
You didn't want to call him that, but you did it anyway.
It came out and I pictured us squeezing Trent like a big orange into can somebody make that graphic?
I think that's directed towards Noah.
I want
what do you want?
Quigs to make a graphic of Trent and
are we juicing
and
him?
we're juicing Trent and it's like he's orange juice and then
like
we call
his
him our
head's
main
exploding,
squeeze.
or?
His body is like just he's upside down and his head is going into the cup and the juice is coming out of his cup and we're squeezing him.
That is graphic.
Yeah, let me make a call to Pixar.
Yeah. That is graphic. We do really miss Trent though.
You just want to grab Trent.
Yeah, so hard.
2
Sexual harassment training this week.
2 weeks without him. Very sad.
It has been sad. Fran turned to me yesterday and said, I miss Trent.
I miss Trent.
And I miss him too. We obviously love having him on the recaps. He adds a certain little flair.
Yeah.
And we don't have
that
that
the group
today.
chat with him so often too. You know, we do work with him every day.
He really is the third chick.
He really is. And he's just off talking about golf.
Our big boys growing up.
God, the Ryder Cup just lasts forever. It's finally starting now. It seems like he's been gone doing all this stuff, but now it's finally here.
Well, Trent, we miss you. Just know that every week we will give you a shout out like this until you come back.
Yeah.
I love you.
Right to his thing over there.
Yeah.
I love it when you call me Big Papa. I want to dedicate that song to Trent. Anyways, let's get into
man.
Well, don't you picture? I'm sorry, I want to get into the Bachelor in Paradise recap, but can't you picture Trent sitting in between the three of us? And I love it when you call me Big Papa's playing, and Trent's just like.
Yeah, Trent's just nodding his head.
Yeah, we're in a
does.
convertible. It's bouncing up and down.
Let's not tell Trent about this, and the next recap, when he sits in between us, I'm just going to start singing, I love it when you call me Big Pop, and just see
what he does.
if he does exactly what we had thought he would.
That's a good idea.
All right, let's get into the Bachelor in Paradise recap.
That's a good idea.
This episode was a little lackluster this week. Thankfully, we had a lot last week, but this week was really minimal.
Yeah, and I just want to say that we are staying very hydrated while we are watching because
we have to.
You know we're drinking our Owens when we're watching, but now we got these bad boys. I got mine on the desk right now. That you're never far from your water. This is the Hydro Jug, folks. It is fantastic. It's a reusable water bottle. They're durable, like I said, reusable. They hold more than a half gallon of water. So you stay hydrated all day long. That really does last me all day long. I get to work. I fill it up with some ice, some water. And Maria is wearing, it actually matches your outfit very well right now.
Oh, does the blue and the purple?
Yeah. I got the lilac bottle. It has a nice flower sleeve on it. They have all different kinds of sleeves you can customize. And the strap. The strap is really nice because when I walk home from work with it, when I walk home with it, it just goes right over. It doesn't feel like you're carrying a super heavy water bottle because, it is very trendy to have these big water bottles right now. And I highly recommend because this one just makes it way easier. So the Hydro Jug, you can get it right now at thehydrojug.com. You can use our code CHICKSINTHEOFF to get 10% off your order today. So that is the URL. The whole URL. Here it is. thehydrojug.com/discount/chicksintheoff. That's thehydrojug.com/discount/chicksintheoff. Follow them on social as well. You can hit up their Instagram, Hydrojug, and their TikTok, Twitter as well. So check it out, folks. The Hydro Jug. We all got our own. The whole Chicks in the Office team. We love them. We're excited because we're staying very hydrated while we talk about The Bachelor. I'm going to put it on the ground just for now because I feel like it is taking away from me looking at you.
So sweet.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you meant that in a nice way.
I did. I did. Our eyesight.
Hold my hand for 1 second. Okay, let's do the recap.
Let's do it. Bachelor in Paradise. We're back. We picked up where we left off. Kendall. It was just a moment of that's not what I wanted to say. Matter of time, not a moment of time. It's just a matter of time before Kendall packed her bags and headed home.
Listen, I was very confused when Kendall said to Joe, I thought we came to paradise for the same reason, because they clearly did not come for the same reason.
And his face said that, too.
Yes.
His face was like, ooh.
And not only did his face say it, not only did his face say it, he said it as well.
Yeah.
Kendall thought that she could come to the beach and maybe have a little reunion with Joe, and it's where they met and they can rekindle that flame. Joe went to the beach thinking, I want to get over Kendall and find someone new.
He said he knew it was over between us. I came here because I knew it was over between us.
Exactly. And he wanted to move on and he wanted to experience other things. And I think if Kendall really wanted to be with Joe, then maybe she should have reached out to Joe before the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what are we doing here? You guys had a real relationship outside the show. Reach out if you want to be together that badly. I know in her mind, maybe she was
or
like,
move to Chicago.
Yeah, or move to Chicago. Move there.
Because I think that
like,
would have done it. I think
like,
really all she needed to do, a year ago, was move to Chicago.
And they probably would be together.
Yeah, and she looked.
Hey, maybe it's not meant to be.
So it's not meant to be, exactly. Like, at the end of the day, she did not want to do that. They had love for each other. They had a great relationship. But now, they could find other people that could potentially make them happier.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like, people are saying, well, maybe she wanted to have this extravagant entrance that would sweep Joe off his feet. And it's like, oh, wow, I haven't seen Kendall in a while. Maybe she did try to reach out before and he wasn't having it. She thought, oh, now I'll go to the beach and bombard him. It's like too much at this point,
Yeah.
I feel for Kendall. I understand. She thought Joe was her person. She really loved him. She's got to let it go at this point. If she really, really wanted to be with him, she would move to Chicago.
And he was so sweet.
And he did try to live in LA. I think that people, we left that out and people pointed it out to us that he did go to LA with her. So
has he had that conversation with Serena?
Well, he lived in LA also because he was on Dancing with the Stars. Yeah. Like, he was living in LA. He was on I'm sure during those times, like, it was much easier for them to make it work. No, but it did seem like they were going to have that conversation in the preview. It was like, we got to talk about, logistics here.
I feel like they should have had that at the very beginning. Like, why go through all this? And then she's like, I don't actually want to live in Chicago either. And then it's like, well, then.
I don't know. I disagree with that because I think you have to truly try and form a connection first and then you can figure that stuff out. Like, you don't, I don't know. You're not going to.
If that is a deal breaker and it broke your last relationship up, then why?
I know, but you could build a connection with someone. Like, I could meet someone and think, like, oh, I'm never fucking moving to the Iowa.
I'm gonna fight you right now. Iowa, bitch.
I know.
Why Iowa?
I did it on purpose. But then you meet someone that is from there and you're like, oh God, I would never fucking live there. And then you fall madly in love and you think, like, this person is my person. I'm now willing to move to Iowa.
Straight up, I'm moving to Iowa for try. He asked me, I'm going.
So, like, I just think that's, like, I don't think you have to have an open mind. If you're already so, like, closed-minded on potentially living in other places, then you're just pigeonholing yourself to dating other people that are from where you live.
Yeah, I think that if you really, really love somebody or madly in love, you're like, fuck it, I'll move wherever.
Yeah.
Take me wherever
so then
I'm
you
going.
don't
Or you,
think
like,
him
make
and
a
Kendall
plan
actually,
and vice versa.
Maybe it wasn't actually the place. That was just an excuse.
I think
that's what Joe was
That's what I'm saying.
saying.
I don't
Like,
think it's meant to be.
Yeah.
I think that they
Joe was
had love
alluding
for
to
each
that.
other, but I don't think they're in love.
Joe definitely seemed to be alluding to that when they were having that conversation where he was like, I know you said you never wanted to move for a man, but I shouldn't have just been like a man. Like, he thought that their connection was strong enough where exceptions should have been made.
If I'm in love, I'm just moving wherever. I've actually had this conversation with myself. Like, I'm like, I've thought to myself, like, what if somebody from a different state swept me off my feet, but I have this podcast, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, come,
next week.
Yeah, like next week. And I'm like, what would I do?
What about a different country?
A different country?
I would never leave this podcast. I would keep doing it forever. But you're like,
Podcast aside, like, just relationship. Would you move to another country?
It just depends. I mean, it really
If I'm
depends. Where
really
I
in
can't
love-
just say
So
like
it
I'm
does
willing to
depend.
move to any. No.
State is different than country.
Yes, extremely different.
Well, not if you're in love, you're saying.
All right, let's get
No.
on with the recap. Trent, I mean,
for the
oh my
love
God,
of
I just
God,
called
no.
you Trent. Can't get the man off my
Yeah.
brain.
Noah just always.
Just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate it. You need somebody like that on the show.
The Joe was very sweet to Kendall though. Like it was a nice moment. You walked off cutting stems because I said this, but while they're having this conversation, this man is in socks and sandals on the beach. I can't get over it. I really can't. It's like calf socks and do not walk out again. Oh my calf socks and slides. He's looking comfy. I
When
guess.
I'm in love, I'm in love.
Yeah.
And I see no flaws with Grocery Store Joe at this point in time.
Yeah.
Not even his socks
If Grocery
and sandals.
Store Joe said, let's take a stroll down the beach, you got to put on socks and slides.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me that much.
Okay. Fine. Fair. Very
That's
fair.
like a Lex bro thing too.
Yeah, I don't think it's... I understand why people
It's like
don't
an
like
old
it.
dad type thing, and then it's also like a cool thing.
I
in
don't really
some-
know if it's necessarily
Not
cool.
cool. I don't agree with
but
it.
it is like a kid thing. That's why I said on Cutting Stems.
My
It's
dad
like
does it.
it's like a high school, like a freshman in high school leaving his like basketball practice with his bag and his fucking slides and his socks on. I just think it makes you look kind of like a little kid.
I see your point now.
Yeah.
I'm literally envisioning there was... Oh my God, I'm having such a flashback of being a freshman in high school,
Yeah.
in my high school hallway after cheerleading practice, talking with the kids on the basketball team, and they got
And they
their
had their
socks
slides
and
and
their
their
slides on,
fucking socks on.
and us thotties trying on their slides with our socks, obviously.
There you go. Perfect example. Perfect example. But Kendall realizes that this is not working. They're clearly there for different reasons, and Joe has moved on. So she leaves. It doesn't really, she like kind of like hugged Ivan, was like, peace out. Like, thanks for giving me that one rose. I don't really know what Ivan was thinking giving his rose to Kendall because we never saw them speak. So like maybe there was something there, but we just never saw it on TV. So for us, it kind of seemed like Ivan may have wasted an opportunity to get to know one of the other girls potentially, but it was time.
Ivan and Kendall had one makeout that Kendall used Ivan for, and that was that.
So Kendall leaves. She's obviously very upset, but with her leaving brings in Lil Jon heading down the beach. He's got a new surprise for everyone. There's 2 new guys coming, DeMar and Ed. Ed, it was nice to see him. I'm not going to lie.
It did feel like home, didn't it?
It felt comfortable. I kind of missed having Ed on TV. I did. We didn't really see too much of him in the episode, but everybody's talking about his abs, their muscles. They all look great.
I didn't miss seeing it on TV.
Really? It just kind of made me chuckle. Like, oh, we had some good laughs about
Yeah,
you.
it's like, oh, haha, it's Ed, but I could do without
If you made
you.
it to the end of this somehow.
It would be very impressive.
Yeah, definitely would. So they go and they're speaking to the girls. Ed kind of seems like he beelines to Natasha, and DeMar talks to Chelsea, talks to Marissa. So, of course, that maybe puts Riley a little bit on edge. And they say that he wanted to meet her and she wanted to meet him. They had each other in mind when they were coming to Paradise. So, right off the bat, you think like, ooh, she could ditch Riley. I had a bad feeling. I kind of thought she was going to go on the date. I thought he was going to ask her.
I thought so too, and I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because
I'm very glad.
that would have hurt me.
Yeah, to watch Riley be sad would have been really sad.
And I really think they have a great thing going.
Yeah.
It seems like they have a lot of chemistry. It
Yep.
seems like they're on the same page about a lot of things. And I think that would have hurt, and I'm glad it didn't happen.
Yeah, and it's interesting because watching, it feels like Riley has shown his affection, like shown affection towards her and things like that. But she was saying like she was wanting more from him. It seemed like they were kind of on the same page, but when you're in those situations, you obviously just want to be like reaffirmed all the time. and maybe that wasn't quite happening, but
And I feel like in Paradise, you want to be reaffirmed all the time too,
Constantly,
especially because
yeah.
there's so many different people coming in. There's so many people change up all the time on this show that you almost need to be the type of person that's going to constantly remind the other person that that's it for you.
yeah, I agree. So Chelsea, Damar, Natasha, and Ed go on this date. It's they're painting the guys shirtless, and that was kind of about it.
I almost forgot that date even happened.
I know it was like they painted them shirtless and then they put paint on them, I think, but it wasn't too eventful. Natasha, they did cut to like Dr. Joe saying like, oh, I'd be sad if like Natasha went on a date. Like I think there's some potential there. It's like, Dr. Joe, love you. You know I love Dr. Joe.
You do.
Big fan of the Joes all around. Like Dr. Joe, Grocery Store Joe, great name, great guys.
Joe.
Oh.
Riley.
Wasn't gonna say it. No.
I will.
And he says like, oh, I have the potential. I'm like, there's no potential. You fucking friend zone hugged Natasha at the end of that date when you were like, why did it have to be Brendan?
My Brendan?
My Brendan. My Brendan.
I mean, there's a point in Paradise and there's a point in the season where people just don't matter.
Oh yeah.
And this group
We've
of
reached the
people
point. We've reached
just
the point.
doesn't matter.
The people that are still there that aren't in like in a couple, it's like we know that realistically they only have like 4 days left of filming.
And they're just enjoying the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like,
It's
oh, maybe
we're
I'll get a little tan.
Dr. Joe's playing the ukulele out in the rocks. It's like, okay.
We're just having a good time.
Does everyone on this show play the goddamn ukulele? Like, where did that thing come
you
from?
can just start strumming random strings and it might sound good.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote,
maybe they have one on set. Maybe Connor left his behind.
Somebody wrote in the Cutting Stems live chat, they said, would you rather get serenaded by Dr. Joe or Connor? And I thought it was a stupid question because it's obviously Dr. Joe.
100% Dr. Joe.
Sorry, Connor, once again, it's Dr. Joe.
Yeah.
Does Connor ever win?
Sorry.
Moving on.
But Natasha and Ed seem to be connecting. Like Natasha seemed very happy. She's like, this feel, she was like, it's finally happening for me. So that's kind of all we want. I don't really think that's going to be anything in real life, but for her to like kind of finish Paradise on a good note, that is great. And then Kenny and Mari got their own date, which was sexy eating on each other's bodies naked. Once again, Kenny is getting naked on this show for technically, I feel like the second time, even though the show would like us to believe it's the third time. And of course, we are also eliminating the times that they're in the boom boom room and they're, night cam. They're also naked there, but it's not as obviously like naked.
Kenny needs to get on OnlyFans or he's doing himself a disservice. And meaning, I'm not even saying people want to pay to see Kenny. He wants to be naked and free, and somebody needs to allow him to do so.
Well, he has said multiple times, I got no problems being naked.
He loves being naked.
And,
there's
he
many
comes
shows
out
for him, Naked and Afraid, Dating Naked.
At this point, they have the things black box and whatever. Like, what's the point of these little leaves covering?
To show us his dick.
It's just like, it's just funny because there really is just not like a sexy way to do this. Like, it's like he's making a taco on his stomach, like putting down the tortillas and filling them up. And then, like, you can't eat a taco with your hands tied behind your back. Like, it was like trying to be sexy, like licking it off. It's like, that's not sexy. Even when you're holding a taco in your hand trying to eat it, it's not sexy.
Yeah, I will say it's not sexy, but it didn't gross me out. Like, it grossed you out a lot.
Yeah, it grossed me out.
It didn't gross me out because I love tacos, and if there's taco meat and sour cream and lettuce and everything involved, like, I'm just excited to eat it.
The whipped cream and toe was way grosser.
I
disagree. The toe?
I would lick whipped cream off of anybody's toe.
People like toes.
I don't know.
Toes don't. I'm not a foot fetish person.
Yeah, but
feet don't freak me out.
Feet don't gross me out.
I'd lick your toe right now, Noah. Straight up. And not even like in a weird way.
Stop that right now.
Not in a weird way.
No, I know.
What if I
but
told you that
you would lick Noah's toe?
Right now, I would.
What if I told you I had to do my laundry today and I ran out of socks, so these socks I wore
yesterday?
Yeah.
I would still lick your toe.
Really?
Yes, because I have done that before.
I don't believe you, but I'm not going to test it out. I don't believe you.
I personally don't want to watch that, so I'm not going to.
No,
I don't want to test it out, but I'm just saying.
But
I'm not grossed out by it.
Okay, you would suck any random person's toe.
Not any random person's toe. I know you.
Okay.
No, not any random person's toe, but like if you're in a relationship and maybe, it's like they like it, it's like,
oh yeah, I'll suck your toe.
Whipped cream on that bad boy. It probably tastes good.
Ooh, lick my toe like that.
I'd rather whipped cream on a toe than tacos off an abdomen.
Yeah, I think taco meat getting in your vagina is gross.
Yeah,
but
and
sour cream I love. So I would be open to licking the sour cream.
Eating a taco very close to like I'm assuming that he's clean shaven down there.
Tacos taste
but
good.
He's eating tacos very close to some pubic area.
Oh, taco meat and stuck in hair is another level.
Gross.
You know, like how you put limes in tacos? That would a little
Ooh,
lime.
That would be terrible.
No,
lime might burn.
Yeah,
Yeah, it might burn, but I don't know.
My God,
like you do body shots with lime, like
Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
you raise a point.
Yeah, but you get a little
1 point for Noah.
You got a little hot sauce in the wrong place.
Oh, that'll burn.
Well, you just gotta be careful.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, I just think that.
All right, so all the ladies out there listening, just know that Noah would be interested in licking taco meat off your body.
I just think that licking.
I like tacos.
Yeah, I like tacos as well. I would just prefer not to eat them off someone else's
Honestly, whipped cream alone
body.
is overrated anyway.
Whipped cream?
Like just whipped cream doesn't do it for me. I usually ask
whipped cream
to take the whipped cream out of.
Oh, I like whipped cream a lot.
Oh, I like. Oh, I'm the opposite. If I'm anywhere and they say, "Oh, would you like whipped cream on top?"
Yes.
Why the hell not?
Love
Put it on there.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love some whipped cream.
It's for a little extra.
Yeah.
Little
Okay,
pizzazz.
no whipped cream and toast for Noah, but tacos, yes.
Now, Mari also was rubbing sour cream like all over his body.
Yeah.
So fairly close to whipped cream if we're getting technical, but something is a little bit grosser about sour cream, I gotta say.
It's a little more sour, one might say.
Yeah,
It's like spoiled
Do you
milk.
like sour cream?
I love sour cream.
he was pouring.
Love.
What do you use it for?
If my mom makes tacos for dinner, once again,
tacos.
I'm living
Yeah.
in my house on Long Island,
Yeah.
and every time I talk about my mom making dinner, I feel like I'm a 40-year-old stuck in their parents' basement. But when my mom makes tacos and there is no sour cream, I flip out. This happened last week. Got home, tacos were made,
Yeah.
no sour cream.
Unbelievable.
Big problem.
Kenny was pouring sour cream all over her as well. There was something kind of, I'll say it, kind of sexy about the little tortillas over her boobs. Like, it was like, oh, that's like, I don't know.
Fun.
Like you eat the taco and then you get to the nipple.
Yes.
It's a journey.
Yes.
However, it was another thing too that was like these two definitely, I could see them getting a little freaky. Like I think Kenny said, like, she's a freak.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, am I talking too horny on this show? And then I remember everything
what
they're
they're
giving us on
doing.
Bachelor in Paradise.
What are we supposed to do with this?
How am I supposed to react
Right.
when Riley and Marissa last week are fucking licking whipped cream off each other's body parts, their toes, their bodies.
This week they're
and now this
naked
week they're
eating
naked
tacos.
eating tacos off each
I
other.
know.
I'm gonna get a little hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a boner.
It's really the only way to discuss it at this point, honestly. There's just not really another way to talk about it. They also cut to Tia and James, who James is really trying to fight his way back in here. We saw that date with Blake last week. It looked really... And it looked like it was done already. Like they meshed so well. It was over, done for James. And James, I don't know who made this for him, what producer painted this or got this, but it was like 2 planks of wood that were supposed to represent Tia's hometown, the one stoplight town of Weiner, Arkansas. So like one is like a little skyline, and then the other is a stoplight. He said it took us coming to Mexico to link up and kind of have a connection. And it's like, the two different places of where they're from. He's from New York, and the stoplight. I don't know who thought about that, but I guess creative on their part. But Tia did like it. There was a kiss, and I think she appreciated James putting in the effort. But she also said, still trying to listen to my vagina. And I think her vagina is telling her Blake.
Her vagina is telling her Blake, although I wish it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Because then we get to Blake.
I know. Yeah, we'll get to that as well. But then we also have Mari and Kenny telling each other that they're falling in love. They're moving, and they're like actually starting to talk about real things. Kenny's like, hey, the next step here, we don't have to do it right now, but like tomorrow is, an engagement. So pretty crazy.
Not now, but like in 3 days, we might be walking off this beach married.
Yeah, absolutely. We also had a very emotional conversation between Riley and Marissa that got deep very quickly. But guys, a reminder, in case you forgot, because we didn't, we're going on tour, baby. We're coming to a city near you. Hopefully, I know it's only 5 cities, but
so maybe it's
if you're
not
on
near
one
you.
side of the country, we're not coming near you.
If you're in this area, maybe you're lucky. But we are very thankful for Sling TV.
Yes, we are. We love you, Sling.
Sling is the presenting sponsor of our live tour. If you guys don't know what Sling is, it's just like a very easy way to watch TV if you're like a cable cutter. It's like, I don't need my cable anymore. Well, now you can get your Sling TV where you can watch.
I got Sling TV in my backyard TV.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's the perfect way to watch your local channels for free if you want to. Sports, they got the ESPN, Red Zone, SEC Network, Golf Channel, FS1, TNT, NBC Sports Network, all these other channels. So if you want to watch live sports, you're tired of all the high prices, you can head over to Sling. It's super easy to set up. There's no contract. Starts at just $35 a month. And if you sign up now and get your first month for just $10, whatever it is, sports-wise, you're into it, you can check it out on Sling. We're so happy that Sling is jumping on this tour with us. We're very excited to get on the road. We are going to be announcing the Philly tickets this week, which I think we can say
yes,
on this podcast. The Philly, you can go to Chicks in the Office on Instagram to get the official time of when they will be releasing, but the Philly tickets will be released on Thursday, so get ready for that. Sling also gives you access to exclusive content on the new Barstool Sports channel.
Yes.
Which is very, very cool. So go to sling.com/Barstool to sign up now and get your first month starting at $10. That's sling.com/Barstool. Thank you, Sling. We love you.
We love you, Sling.
Okay, guys. Emotional conversation between Riley and Marissa. Marissa really wants Riley to open up. He's not getting there. I think she's like kind of pushing him a little bit. Because it started with her saying like, oh, would you have been, upset if I went on that date? And he said, I wouldn't have liked it, but you probably wouldn't have known it. So it's like, oh, he wouldn't have liked it, but he wouldn't have shared his feelings, which is not really a good thing because, once you're bottling things up, things can explode. And she's like, you gotta tell me how you feel. So instead of backing down, he did open up. And it was beautiful. And he really explained and talked about his family and his relationships and how that has shaped him and how he tries to handle his life now compared to how he used to. It's and he started to cry. It was very intense.
I believe in these two.
I know. I hope so too.
That's what I took
do.
away from this whole conversation is I just believe in these two.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's really impressive for a man to identify. Like, it's one thing for a girl to be like, open up. And they're like, I've been through a lot and it's hard for me. And like, and then they kind of just leave it at that. He seems like he is really working on himself and like digging deep to like where some of those relationship fears come from, unraveling them, unpacking them. And I think that's all Marissa wanted to hear. Like it sounds bad that like she like looked happy after this because of course he's sharing his story, but he was like, that is all I wanted. All I wanted was to hear you say that. And then Marissa says she's falling in love with him, and he says, I'm falling in love with you too.
And they were so happy, and it made me so happy because, well, I'd also like to add that it seems like all the girls have to say it first on this beach that they're falling in love with the guys, because the guys are just afraid to say it, and then the girls have to say it, and the girls are so nervous because they're like, well, what if I say it and the guy doesn't say it back? But he always does.
Yeah.
So shout out to her for taking that initial step, but it seemed like they're really happy and they are falling in love.
Yeah. And he said that, he wants her to meet his mom, which she was very happy about. It was all really, really sweet for him to, actually break down and talk about his family dynamic and reach that point. So we get this beautiful moment. We're very happy for them. And then dun dun dun, storm of the century is headed for paradise. They all have to evacuate. The producers are on screen. You never want to see that. And they're like, there's a tropical storm coming. It's not safe. We have to evacuate. Everyone pack your bags. We're getting out of here. Oh, okay.
Fakest storm of all time, because they turned right back around and walked right back onto the beach.
Well, it's just funny because they clearly didn't film any of the in-between. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, we don't know how much time they were on the beach, because it cut to a commercial, and then after commercial, they were coming back to the beach. So we have no idea, like, if it was days, hours, like what really happened. I'm surprised we didn't get any, phone footage, or not that they would get their phones back, but I don't know, if they were in a hotel or something, they're talking to cameras in the hotel. But no, and it's also kind of wild to think that because we always have our phones and you get weather alerts and you got the apps and all, if something's coming. There's something that's terrified me thinking of not having my phone and being on the beach and seeing some clouds and being like, it's cloudy, and having no idea that a potentially deadly storm could be headed my way. Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Kind of exciting.
I was gonna say there's something pure about it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Kind of like, have you ever seen
Think
Castaway?
about it. Before there were TVs, before there were phones, before there was anything, they just had to look up at the sky and say, a storm is a brewing.
It was pretty wild. Pretty wild. So they're all leaving. It's all very dramatic. It's like, will we ever see you again? I don't know. Am I ever going to see this person? So clearly they must have separated by gender. All the girls got in one car, men got in the other. So I'm guessing, and I didn't think about this, but Devin pointed it out when we were watching, that they clearly separate them because they don't want any funny business happening off camera where they're not filming and we miss something. But it seems like maybe that happened anyway.
It seems like in the previews that we did miss something with the cameras being off.
It does kind of seem that way. And then, like I said, they come back for commercial. They try and show this some of the chairs don't have cushions. There's one dead palm tree branch in the pool. They tried to make it seem like the place had some damage when it was it seemed like it was okay.
It was like that Step Brothers scene where they're like, there's so much blood, and then they go in, it's just a tiny cut on his arm.
Yes. Or in couples
the shark.
The shark bite.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So now they're back. Who knows how much time went by, but they're in enough of a rush here, I guess, that they're like, daytime cocktail party, get dressed, get ready, we're having a rose ceremony, we're behind schedule, so we got to get all this stuff done. The girls are giving out the roses, so the guys are going home. There are a bunch of guys that are not in relationships, so I think people are nervous. Then it kind of focuses on Tia's situation with James and Blake. Tia wants Blake to give her a little more, show her more. It seemed like maybe he wasn't talking to her, and they have this conversation on the daybed where he just came off kind of rude. He was like, I want to be here with you. I don't want anything more. And what's funny,
he had a major attitude.
Because when you hear
Tootie daddy, not tatty daddy.
When you hear the words that he was actually saying, it was they were nice. On paper, if you read them, it was oh, that's exactly what she wants to hear. But it was the way he was delivering them were so sassy.
the way you deliver something means so much. Like,
Yes.
you could be like, it just, I don't even know, but it just really matters how you deliver something, because like you said, you could be saying something so nice, but if you say it with an attitude,
Yeah.
it just comes across mean. So I didn't even hear a thing he said. I was just like, oh, he's a dickhead, just because of his attitude.
Yeah. And they were they were arguing like they've known each other for a really long time.
That's what confused me, that it seems like these two have had many of conversations before,
right.
because what two people who just met each other would start giving each other two like that?
Yeah, and I don't think I would ever feel comfortable telling a guy that I've been on one date with or whatever. I mean, obviously they've been spending time together, but like, I just want you to give two fucks about me. Like, it's like, well, I don't even know you, ma'am.
Yeah, right? Like, wait, chill. Whoa,
Ma'am, this is
just
a
take it easy,
Wendy's.
man.
Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, we can agree we did not like the way he handled that. If he had just showed Tia that he was into her, it would have been fine. So it does kind of feel like maybe James could sneak in there a little bit. I think so.
But her vagina is not dancing for James.
She did say she wanted to listen to her vagina.
Sometimes your vagina doesn't dance for the person it's supposed to. Or should, not even supposed to.
Every time we say listen to your vagina, listen to your heart plays in my head, but with vagina instead.
But
listen to your
it doesn't
vagina.
You need to find a one syllable
No,
word.
I know.
Listen to
your vag.
Listen to your vag.
Ooh, that's kind of catchy.
Listen to your vag.
When he's
Calling
going
for you. Listen to your vag.
Yep. Oh, Tia, we got a hit for you. Call us. Ivan looks very sad. He's sulking around. He knows he's
Poor
not getting
Ivan,
a
man.
rose. I don't know what's going on, but he says that he was not there to take anybody else's rose. His only chance would be if somebody else came down. So they're all talking, and Aaron is with Chelsea. Aaron's trying to make that effort with Chelsea because, Chelsea went on another date, so he's trying to put in that time. So he does this like fake runway situation out of sticks where he's like, I'm gonna do my runway walk, you're a supermodel, I'm gonna do this, and I guess it was like fine, cute-ish.
The only thing I was focused on,
if that's about you,
the only thing I was focused on was Chelsea's dress. Like, I didn't take away anything from this moment besides I love Chelsea's dress, and that's that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But it did seem like Chelsea liked it. She was enjoying it, having a good time with Aaron. I have always had the feeling deeper down that there is more, and of course, I mean, there's more to all these people than what they show on the show.
Yeah.
But that there's more to Aaron in the like, all he does is argue with the other guys, because that really is the only thing they ever show us on this show. But there has to be something more to him, and more like charismatic and charming, that these girls do like him and think he's funny or like have nice things to say about him off camera. But it's just all we get on camera is him fucking fighting with these dudes and like talking, and just like Ivan went to go talk to Chelsea, and Aaron and James are watching, and Aaron's like, he's a fucking snake bitch boy. Like, it's so dramatic and unnecessary. Like, I understand Ivan is talking to Chelsea and you like Chelsea, but like, shut up.
Aaron's got some major insecurity issues. It's very clear that he has some major. Are you laughing at my tweet?
No, I was laughing just because I was thinking of some of the sound bites he said.
Oh,
I mean, I'm gonna slap that stupid beard off his
he
face.
said, I will slap that. Bro, he just lied to me. I will slap that stupid beard off his face. Bro. Has to start
I can't
every
stop talking about
goddamn
guys.
sentence with bro. It drives
mean,
me nuts.
Aaron only talks about the other guys and how much he hates the other guys.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe even stop a little chit-chatty about the other guys and focus up on some relationships. You may find a little lady, Aaron, but until then, you're talking about the guys the whole time. You're focusing on how mad you are at them. You're never going to find love that way.
He just like takes out all of his anger on the other guys instead of like working on his actual relationships.
Work on your game, Aaron.
Having normal conversations. Like, if the girl you like is with someone else, go talk to that girl and be like, hey, what's going on with Ivan? Like, do you like him? What's happening there? You don't need to like stomp over to Ivan and be like, yo, can I have a word, bro?
Get over here. Come over here. Come over here.
It's too
It
much.
was so lame.
It's too much.
It was
Aaron
so lame.
is so lame. I think that's a perfect way to describe him. Lame.
I'm not gonna lie, I did giggle at his when they were like face to face. I did not think Ivan had that in him. Like Ivan,
I thought I saw a little like.
well,
I think he's put on a front a little bit.
Aaron said, "Why is your lip quivering?" Which did kind of make me laugh. But they, and of course, just to slap us all in the face, we get left on a cliffhanger about an Aaron and Ivan fight that nobody fucking cares about. So we don't get to see the rose ceremony. And now we have a 3-hour episode next week.
We got a 3-hour episode next week, and I probably will only care about 1/2 hour of that. Because they're going to show us a bunch of Aaron and Ivan that we
God.
don't care.
Yeah.
And
Although there's a lot of crying in that trailer.
No,
everyone.
no,
next
I'm
week
kidding.
we'll-
I think it'll be good. I'm excited.
No, next week will be when, this is what I was saying before. This episode was the one where like every couple's like, ooh, I'm falling in love. I'm so happy. This is amazing. And then next week is like when everyone's like, oh, shit, I got to propose in like a day. I think we maybe have to break up. So next week will be do or die time for a lot of these paired up couples because it was very lovey-dovey for almost every couple on the beach this episode.
Everybody was in love, and like you said, next week that means tears.
Yeah.
How normal is it for a couple to be like, we want to stay together, but we're not going to get engaged? Like, I haven't watched that many paradise shows.
It happens a lot.
I feel like that's going to be...
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Joe will do.
It happens a lot. It does look like we got a Kaylin and Dean appearance. So who's better than them to be like, hey, you don't need to fucking propose on the show.
You guys can leave, travel in a van, buy a house
Yeah.
in Vegas,
Yeah.
and be happy.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, like, is Dean the one you want coming in before the proposals to give the guys that extra push of like, you can do this?
Dean's coming to be like, guys, you don't have to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
You can still stay on the show or leave the show.
Yeah.
And be perfectly
happy and stay with the person you
He's
met.
like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
The couples that I think do have potential here to get engaged are the three: Kenny and Mari, Joe, Serena, Riley, and Marissa.
But if you're
I
Joe,
think everybody else not gonna happen.
you don't want to do it again, right? Like you want.
Joe
didn't
never
propose
proposed.
to
Oh, he
Kendall.
didn't.
Joe
Yeah.
never proposed to
Oh,
Kendall.
And Joe said that the first time he was on Paradise meant a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
This time means a little bit more.
Yep.
So a little bit more means
And then
maybe a
third
little
time's the
engagement
charm.
Yeah.
comes back next year.
Yeah. I don't know. I could, and I think I feel the most confident about Kenny and Mari.
I feel the most confident about Riley
You think?
and Marissa.
Yeah. They do seem really connected.
I don't feel confident about Kenny and Mari at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like Kenny's like, you know what?
I'm 40.
Now or never.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's like, I'm on this show. I might as well just do
Yeah.
it. Bite the bullet.
Fuck it.
Get down on one knee. See what happens.
What is there to lose?
I really like Abigail and Noah, and I think they are a really cute couple. I don't think
They
Noah's going to propose. Joe and Becca and Thomas. I don't think Becca wants another TV engagement would be my guess. But
You never know.
it does kind of look like they're still together.
Yeah.
I know the internet sleuths have been all over that, and I've seen that it does kind of seem like maybe there's a couple, or I don't know if they broke up or got back together or whatever. Everything else I haven't really seen. Are there any other current couples? I think that's all of them, right?
I think we covered them all.
If they got 3 proposals, that producers are going to be fucking pumped.
Yeah. 3 proposals is a win.
3 proposals is a massive win. I don't know if they're going to get it, but it'll be close. So next week, guys, we will be back to recap 3 hours
With Trent.
with Trent. Please, God, I hope.
Sweet baby Jesus, please.
I really hope. Because we only have 2 episodes of Paradise left. This is it, folks. It's next. Finale is October 5th.
He'll be here.
He'll be here, or I will be so upset.
We all will. I think the listeners will be as well. So, Trent,
Trent, you better be here.
you know where you got to be at this time next week.
Hollywood.